Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to do something a bit different, and I don't usually get into these types of topics, but I just saw an article that I just had to share with you guys, and it relates to feminism and video games. So what I'm probably going to title this video is The Male Fantasy, because that's what this article is about, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy this. So let me just quote a little bit from the article. As an avid League of Legends player, I know for sure that this game is one that houses the most excuse me, revealing clothing and the most disproportionate body parts for the female characters. If you pick up any Mortal Kombat game, it won't be hard to see this depiction either. I could write an entire article just on which games show women as sex objects. Now, to an extent, I can understand this, because let's be honest, if it's a fighting game, you got revealing clothes. If it's usually an RPG, it's revealing clothes. Excuse me. However, let's just talk about everything that's wrong with this statement here. You're going to look at gaming as a whole and then base your argument on two games that depict it. Now, to be fair, RPGs and fighting games, for the most part, will depict women as pretty much sex objects, if that's what she's talking about. If wearing revealing clothes makes you a sex object, then I can kind of get what they're saying at that. However, let me just tell you, this is based on a singular genre. What about crafting games, huh? What about survival games? What about I can't say all shooters, because there are some shooters that have depicted women in that way, but I mean, the point that I'm trying to make here is there are plenty of games that don't do this. Like, heck, you ever heard of a dress-up game? Like, those still exist. There are even video games that are just something, Just Dance, you know, like, I mean, seriously, like, here they are attempting to talk about why video games should be banned. This is essentially what the article is about, right? Oh, video games should be banned because they appeal to the freaking male fantasy and only treat women such as sex objects. Well, what about in cases where there's a female protagonist? Because we know that they won't say crap if it's a female protagonist. What about games like Skyrim, where you can choose what you want to play as? Does that truly appeal to the male fantasy if you are able to therefore make yourself a female and do as you please? How is that appealing to the male fantasy? Not all RPG games will depict females in a revealing manner and things like that. I understand that most of them do, but the point that they're making is why video games should be banned, because they're all depicting them in a revealing manner. But in my opinion, that's just not true. I've played a lot of games back in my day. Like, come on, Spyro. We've got Death's Gambit that recently came out. We've got Skyrim. We've got Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. And in these cases, I just don't see how it's appealing to the male fantasy. Minecraft, come on, man. There's so many different games that just appeal, in my opinion, to both sides. They're just fun. And you can even create your bloody character, so this argument is just incredibly stupid. That's just one part of the article. Now let me get into another reason and a part of the article why this is just incredibly biased, as always, with feminists, and why they need to just shut their trap when it comes to video games. Okay. They lack any experience in gaming, therefore making majority of their argument opinion rather than fact. Now, I know that technically I am giving an opinion as well, but we cannot forget, if a woman is saying that she wants video games banned, does that not imply that she herself does not really play video games. I mean, that's just common sense right now. If you're saying you want something banned, then why would you yourself take part in the thing that you want banned, right? So with that being said, let me read a little bit of this article again to show you why they don't really know what they're talking about. Now, she says, this is something I strongly feel we need more of in games. Women who can slay the bad guys in regular clothes without needing her chest or butt popping out. There is no reason they need revealing clothes to be just as tough as the men. There is nothing about a female demographic that makes it okay to consistently have her in the need of saving. Thanks to Lara Croft and other strong female leads, us women are well on our way. Now here's the issue with the statement. Now, you're probably going to say, well, TCD, that sounds like she does play games a bit. But she's looking at mainstream games. She's not really taking the opportunity to look at the games like I just said. What about games where you create your character? You can clothe them and things like that. You can customize them. You can pick a male or female or a freaking robot for all you know. What about games where you're literally playing as an animal? Their gaming experience is little to none, yet they feel like they can make huge decisions for gaming as a whole. Now, I don't want to make this video and say, like, I hate feminists or anything, right? I may not agree with everything that comes out of their mouths, but I think that they've got their, the status quo mixed up because it was about equality, and now it's mainly about supremacy. But right now, the thing of them thinking that they know enough about video games to feel like they should try and have it banned. It goes into the whole, you know, violent video games, male fantasy argument, and it's just, these people do not know what they're talking about. They just don't know what they're talking about. So why should anyone listen to what they have to say? They base their arguments on what little games they play and they have seen that they probably want to see, because let's be real, as popular as a game like Skyrim and Dark Souls is, and those games which you can create your own characters, and they don't even mention that, let's be real, they're just looking at the games that they want to see to help their argument. When there's, in reality, tons and tons and tons of genres that you could go about. We've got base building games, we've got card games, we've got crafting games, we've got survival simulators, we've got like VR games that are like just, I don't know, just random crap. Like, it's not all about women being in revealing clothing. That's not what gaming is about. There's plenty of games that show a strong female protagonist, if that's what they're trying to get at. Plenty of games. Yet here they are basing their entire argument off of the games that they want to see. It's truly, truly pathetic, and I have to say that don't listen to these guys, because I'm not one to say just don't listen to something, but if they're gonna be 100% biased and pretty much show that they have zero experience in gaming as a whole, I just don't think that you should be listening to that person, because their knowledge is limited. It's no point of listening to someone if their knowledge is limited and they're trying to act like they know about a subject. It's just no point. Now, I just want to get into the final... reason why this just doesn't make any sense. They make it sound as if women don't play video games. This same woman who wrote this article wasn't necessarily saying that it should be banned, but you should see like all the comments under them making it seem as if, oh, we should just ban video games. Let me tell you this, okay? There are plenty of people who are feminists that play video games, whether they want to tell you or not. If you have a game downloaded on your phone, guess what? That's a video game. If you are playing some kind of, I don't know, dance off or Pokemon or something, that's a video game. Like, gaming right now is heavily mixed into our culture. You're not gonna just get rid of it just because someone wants to get triggered all the time by everything. Just because you feel the need to try and fill in, I guess, some kind of emotional turmoil within yourself, making it seem as if you feel as you are inferior to men, does not therefore imply that you should go about it and take away crap that people enjoy. Imagine if someone came, if a feminist came, which I probably won't be surprised if they have at this rate, to some kind of football game and said that this is awful and that it should be banned. Like, within a moment, like, those people would just, they would get fired, like, and not fired as in, like, from their jobs, I mean, like, roasted by people. They would not have any rest anywhere. They would be just followed with trolls and all kinds of crap, and honestly, that's just how that works, because when you say something about something that people love, it's, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So, to wrap this up, this was kind of a rant, I know, but I just had to talk about this, because this article, I didn't have time to, like, prepare for the video. I just needed you guys to see this bull crap. So, with that being said, I just want to thank everyone for subscribing, and I also want to inform you, as usual, that the only way to subscribe to the channel is to hit subscribe and the notification bell, because yay, YouTube. I've really been enjoying the growth of the channel. I'm happy to see that some people are enjoying my videos. It's really encouraging, so keep it up. Share the video if you think you'd like to get this view out there, and hopefully people might understand something from it. So with that being said, rate the video what you think it deserves. Tell me what you want to see in the future in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Take care.